Thank you very much and welcome. And Tukuza, kuna watu wanaongea hapa, kuna mmoja anasema hiyo suspender iko juu kama exhaust ya tractor. Thank you very much for the compliment. Lakini exhaust ya tractor, jamaneni. Anyway, we are still talking to Henry right here. He's told us a bit about his past, what he's gone through, and just a foundation of what that will do to his life later on. So here you are, you've gone back to the village, a lot of trouble. You with your stepmother back in the village. Tell us what happened after that. Tukimbize kidogo.
Okay. After that, I had to run away from the village. And from the village to the city, back to Kakamega, it was 50 kilometers.
Yes.
And when I was going back to the city, I went on an empty stomach.
Ulitembea mguu?
Mguu. Nanja.
50 kilometers.
50 kilometers. And I was a celeb. So many people knew me.
Yes.
And so I would meet people, wananiuliza, where are you headed to? I'm like, I'm just going there to see a friend. But I'm on my way back to the city. Got back there, I explained to no one what had happened. Stayed, and the house which I got into was one of the pastors in Kakamega, and they just received me. A small baby ran to me actually, and the boy hugged me and said, you know, the mother said, I've never seen this boy behave like this to anyone, any stranger. So believe you me, I'm not releasing you, I'm not letting you go, you'll stick here with us, I'll take care of you, you'll take care of my baby.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would stay there, go serve in church, in different ministries. And after some time, I shifted from there. I went to my aunt's house. I didn't explain anything to her. She received me, stayed there with her kids. We had fun. I was called upon to go to Lokichogio, look for a job. I went there, I didn't like the place. And on the way to Lokichogio, then the road was still rough. And there were no buses or Nissans then. So we boarded a lorry, and in the lorry, unakana mbuzi, kondo. Yeah.
And it's a long journey.
It's a long journey. Yes. You are there, we are so full in the truck. I did it. Came back to Kakamega, said I won't stay there. While in Kakamega again, my sister called me back to go and join her in Kitale. She wanted to get me a job. She had a friend in town, Kakamega town, of which told her, bring your brother, I'll give him a job. He didn't explain the kind of a job it was. So my sister goes, you know, is like, I'm happy for you, Henry, come and receive this job. When they are dressed so smartly, went for the job, I didn't know the kind of a job it was. I was given a stool to sit outside a Muindi's shop, a little diner, I'm a soldier. Yeah, security.
Ukapewa kazi ya security.
Yeah.
Na ulikuwa mengara?
Kwa mengara, lakini bila rungu. Yeah, so stayed there for a whole day. So when I went back home, I'm asking my sister, do you really know the kind of job I've been given? She said no. So I explained. She cried. She cried for a whole night. She told me not to go back for the job. So I went back to Kakamega again. While in Kakamega, a pastor friend of mine who was a worship leader way back when I was still young in Afsea Kakamega, had a church in Kitale. He came back to Kakamega looking for me, and we met in a meeting somewhere. He said, I think you don't remember me, but I'm Pastor so-and-so, and I've come to pick you up. We argued, but again, I decided to go to Kitale. So I went, joined his church. I began doing music. I was a praise and worship leader, a driver, a producer, sound technician. So I did that for quite some time, and the ministry grew. But while there, my salary was this little again. I went to look for just a house, just a house, yeah, in a nice place. So it was a house made of offcuts in Milimani Estate. Offcuts, mbao, magogo, the remains from the, and so that house was so cold, but in a nice estate. I was there for the name of the estate.
Ulienda huko, uanze kutap.
Yeah. So while there, the salary is about 700, the house is 400 shillings. I couldn't save and pay for the rent and make a living out of it. So my house rent arrears accumulated. So the owner of the house told me, utoke hapa, and I didn't have a place to go. So I didn't want to go. He locked the house the first time with the new padlock on top of mine. I came, broke into the house, slept for a whole month. The following month, he did the same. I broke, slept in for another month. The third month, he came, removed the door together with the windows. So
akatoa milango na dirisha.
Yeah, so coming back home, I'm seeing the fence, you know, the other side of the through. So I was like, I just laughed, then picked all those things and drove myself away from the enemy. Went to another house again. Now, still in Milimani Estate, but Wamalo was former vice president, neighbor. Yeah, I was just his neighbor. But while there, my salary had gone up to 2,000. But I would rarely earn that 2,000 monthly. It was like 2,000 in 4 months. And the house rent is 1,000 and something.
Yes.
So again, I was told, please talk to us. You can't stay here. But before shifting from, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Before shifting from there, this day, I saw my sister walk into the house with her 2 little kids. And she says, Henry, I don't want to put up with my husband anymore. I want to stay here with you. And in that house, I have 1 bed, good one, 6 by 6, nice mattress, 1 blanket, 2 sheets, you know, just enough for me. No seats in the house. So they came, I shifted, moved from the bedroom, I left them with my bed, told them to use it. I began sleeping on a gunia, a sackcloth, in the sitting room. Very cold. And then 2 days later, I see my brother coming from Mombasa. Henry, nataka kuishi na wewe, sitaki kufanya kazi Mombasa, nimechoka. And I'm thinking, minus salary, house rent arrears, and you know. 2 days again down the line, our last born sister comes in with a uniform. I've been sent home for uniform, for school fees, and 4 hardcover books. I don't even have money for food, for their food. I think 3 days after that, I just collapsed. I was watching wrestling. It was around 8, watching wrestling. And then I woke up the following day in a hospital bed. Wow. I don't know how I found myself there. And then, you know, again in Kitale, I have a name. So waking up at 5 in the evening, I see all doctors from Kitale town around me, nurses, pastors, friends. The hospital is so full, Umtai is here. And I wasn't sick. It's just, I think, stress or something. Yeah, so one of the nurses picked me up and took me to her house and said, I'll take care of you. Just eat, tell me about your family. So we began, you know, reasoning together. We would talk. And I began healing.
Fast forward, our time is not on our side. So here you are, you've stayed in Kitale. At one point you decided you want to marry.
Yes.
So you get this lady. Tell us briefly in a minute about that.
My lady, I met my wife in 1999. I'm still single and a hustler. Yeah, and she had just come from America. She had been studying there. And she comes, I just fell in love with her, and then we talked. We agreed. But
no ambition.
99.
Hustler. Them ametoka US.
Wabidi. Yeah. And so we talk and agree, and then she says, but you'll have to talk to my dad. But her mother was a good friend of mine. Okay. We skipped a few years. She came to USA to further her studies. So during that time, I was just down there hustling. So I came to Nairobi during her graduation, one of the fine evenings. We talked and said, I want to talk to your dad and ask him for
a hand in marriage.
Wow. It was a movie and a half. So the dad says, okay, Umtai, you said you want to see me. He didn't even tell me that I'm giving you 5 minutes. But when I began that talk, so I was shaking his head. And he's like, after now, you know, putting across my plea. And then he says, Henry, how old are you? I said, umesoma mpaka? I said, he said, I want you to go look for another college. I'll pay for you anywhere you want, but don't talk to me about marrying this girl now. Thank you. Bye. He stood up and walked out on me. Let me sit down.
Lakini hata wewe ulikuwa na ambition. Ulikutana tu na Buda wapi? Barabarani?
Hapana. Kwa nyumba ya wife hapa Nairobi wakati wa graduation. So unajua
ukamwambia tu Buda, I like your daughter.
I like your daughter, and we've been going out for the last,
I like your confidence.
like 3 years. Na afanye kazi huko alikuwa Iraq then. So when he's going back out, I have to stay there again, you know.
Yes.
Na bidii.
So finally you went to college?
No, I did not. I didn't have money. You know, I would work.
I said he'll pay for you.
He did, but now the college I was looking for, it was about sound engineering. For South Africa, states,
okay.
and the figures. And I didn't want, out of this all, I never wanted help from a man.
Great. Fast forward again. So did you marry the lady later?
I married that lady 7 years down the line. With my small salary. I was planning for a big wedding minus committee. I used to earn 13,000. I'm living in a house of 10,000 rent. So chapa madhafu.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Wow. I like this guy. So you got married. You had a wedding?
Had a wedding. After the wedding, God showed up. I think I had saved, in between me and me, I had, I think, 15,000.
Yes.
My wife had saved about 30,000. The wedding was to cost 300 and something.
Yes.
And then I never asked for help from a man. But my same dad-in-law said, you'll not marry from here, you have to go back to school. He came and funded for everything. Now when I say everything, it's everything. Tie, shirt,
wow, your rings,
rings, everything, venue, food, and he had he had a wedding a week before ours. Saturday, and then ours the following week. And it was glorious. Then after the wedding, we got the first baby, firstborn, Peniel. After that, 2 years down the line.
Tell us about Peniel.
Peniel is just a girl that I love, and I came here with her. She came in this time, you know, when you're having it fun, we are having just fun.
Things were better. Peniel is, yes, so you got Peniel?
Peniel, and after Peniel, we got the second born in 2009, 1st of December. She was called Reina. And Reina was just too sharp for life. She began talking at an early stage. She was just sharp. And then a year down the line, this baby was diagnosed with cancer. And then now that cancer became a mountain.
What kind of cancer?
I can't even remember the name. You know those terminologies they use? But it was inside her belly. But it protruded from the, the butt here.
Yes.
Yeah, so she couldn't sit. She couldn't sit. So the first mistake we did, we went to see a doctor in one of the big hospitals in Nairobi, and they said it's just a growth, a minor growth, a normal growth. So they did a minor surgery. We paid about 50,000. She came back home bleeding, in pain, crying. Then 2 weeks down the line, we realized the place is, swelling. Day after day, she's so much in pain, so we decided to take her back to hospital. So now this time around, we go to Kenyatta. To Kenyatta Hospital, they say this thing is so serious, I wish you came here a bit early. So we told them, don't give us the story, just deal with it. So they say, we have to admit her here, you have to pay this amount of money, and we didn't have that money then. So we decided to go to Kijabe Hospital, of which a major surgery was taken there. They did an open heart surgery. And that surgery was to last for 2 hours. So we took her to the theater at 7. So we expect by 9, she's out. So one of the pastors, a friend of mine from Jubilee Christian Church, took me there and said, "Don't I am here with you. Take her, it's gonna be well." So while there, it took 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Pastor would stand up, toast, go there. You're not allowed to get into the theater. Yes. He comes back and says, there is hope. The girl is doing well. They were not yet over. And it took like a whole day. And so we are getting anxious, and people would call, is she actually still alive, or she's going to be with the Lord, and they don't want to let you know. And they brought her back at 5 in the evening. We were tired, hungry, mentally tortured. We stayed with her for 2 weeks, brought her back home. So we were advised to begin taking her for chemo sessions in Kenyatta. We would go for some sessions in Kenyatta, others in Avenue Hospital, Aga Khan. We were all over Nairobi. And after which, and while we did that, we didn't have enough money. So we rely on friends. And friends will support us here and there, but we made it through.
Amen. So the child got better.
She got better.
My director tells me time is up.
Okay.
So the child got better?
She got better. After some time, the situation began, worsening. So we would visit hospital every now and then. She went for another surgery, went for the third surgery, which now it was so costly. And while going through all this, me, I just stood firm and said I will not ask for help from men. Because I tried it once, second time I just got bored. You know, you go to a friend like them and I say, I'm in need of 45,000 for chemo session for 3 days. And first time you might give me as a friend. What about the second time? So a few times here and there I made some savings, bought a video camera. Then after buying video camera, I would hire it out and make some money and save, and then add on the little that I would earn, and then pay for the hospital bill. Yes.
So what happened to the child finally?
Finally, the child went to be with the Lord, and after going to be with the Lord, just a few days to that, God opened the door, a big door. You know, miracles will just pop in. And there's another guy who used to come to my studio, I'm a producer.
Yes.
So he would come do music and he would just bother me. Umtai, do my song now. We have to work on it now. And my baby's in the hospital. I did it. The last time we went to do it, he tells me, don't come with your small car. Come, I'll give you my car. You drive around and then you go with it. I'll pick it from your church on Sunday. Believe you me, after we were doing video shoot, after that, he told me go with that car.
Wow.
Yeah, don't give me that car. It was a Subaru Impreza. In good shape.
Umtai,
yes.
That's your camera.
Yes.
In a minute, what are you doing today? And just in a minute, tell our viewers, those who are losing hope, those who think they can never make it in life, just give them a word as we wind up.
Okay. I want to speak to someone watching me right out there. If you're going through stormy times in your life, trust in the Lord. Put your trust in God. He is everything. He is all in all. He is the closest friend you can ever rely on. Don't rely on people's advices at times. Sometimes just pick an advice, but rely on the Lord. He is everything.
Amen.
Amen.
God bless you. I wish you well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching Tukuza.
Thank you.